Right now at 5, a head-on crash in McDonald County kills 2 people and results in a DWI arrest.
And we've got another opportunity for some pop-up showers and storms heading into the afternoon. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a passing attempt turns deadly on Highway 43.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Tuesday, September the 16th. We have 14 days until somebody's got to wake Green Day
Did you say 16th?
Yeah, I did.
It is the 16th.
It
You're
is.
So right. For some reason, I thought it was the 15th.
That was yesterday.
Oh.
That was yesterday.
I
Okay,
can't
I think
keep
you've
up.
Just volunteered yourself to wake up Green Day at the end of the month.
He needs to make the coffee, I guess. I need some too. You're just
Yeah,
talking
see,
about it. You're
that's
tired, and
Man,
I
we've
guess
had
I am too.
producers that make excellent coffee, and we've changed producers, and we have excellent producers now, but they don't make the coffee. I have to make the coffee. It's not excellent when I make it.
I haven't even tried it, but I think I need to
today.
Today, the 16th will be the day that I try your coffee.
You may not be here tomorrow if you try the coffee today, but we'll find out. Hopefully you'll be here tomorrow if you have that coffee, and hopefully you've got great coffee at home to get your Tuesday started, because it's going to be another hot one with some storm chances out there again. Let's start with that live look outside downtown Pittsburgh. There it is, the magic of television. It's so magical sometimes, but it looks pretty good so far. MODI camera 20th and range line in Joplin looking good as well. So on to the future track. So we talked about, pop-up storms are hard for the future track to pick up on, simply because there's not a specific trigger for them other than just the heating of the day. So made some minor changes to the future track to better highlight where pop-up storm chances could be. Now yesterday we saw some mainly east of I-49. They flared up, didn't really move a lot, but they did produce quite a bit of lightning. It didn't become severe or anything, and we're not expecting anything severe with this activity at this point today or for most of this week, but that lightning is still dangerous. So that's the one thing to keep in mind with these pop-up storm chances heading into the afternoon, is when thunder roars, head indoors, just simply because you don't want to be out there messing around with that lightning. And I think pop-up storm chances will continue. They'll be about from noon to 8, with the better chances, let's say between 3 and 6, but I think in that window of noon to 8 is when we could see a few pop-up storms. We're at 67 in Joplin, 65 in Pittsburgh this morning. Temperatures around the region are again quite mild. We've got mid-upper 60s. We even got some 70s. We got 78 Center, Chanute, and Iola. And then take a look. Stockton this morning, the warm spot at 71 degrees to start the day. And bear in mind, our average low is 60. And our average high is 84. All right, partly cloudy skies when the kids head out the door this morning. Upper 60s out there. We're going to go upper 80s by lunch and recess time. Isolated pop-up storms, as most of us will be dry today, and those will be sticking around as they head back home later this afternoon. Highs today averaging about 90. We're going to go mid-70s by 9, upper 80s by noon today. Pop-up storm chances again noon to 8. Winds will be calm or light and variable as we head through the day. Still looking at slightly better storm chances as we head into tomorrow, especially late Wednesday into Thursday. We'll go over those details with you. I talk about that fall-like weather that's on the way here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, 2 die in a head-on crash near Southwest City, Missouri, and 1 driver is arrested for driving under the influence. Troopers say the accident happened just after 4 Sunday when 1 vehicle attempted to pass and struck an oncoming vehicle head-on. A 60-year-old man and woman, both from Anderson, Missouri, died at the scene. Others were flown by air ambulance to a local hospital. Both vehicles and debris shut down Missouri Highway 43 for nearly 5 hours. Southwest City Fire, McDonald County deputies, Tiff City Fire, and Freeman Ambulance responded to the scene. Now, troopers arrested this man, 18-year-old Lance Stockhauser of Siloam Springs, Arkansas, for DWI and the death of 2 or more people. He was transported to the McDonald County Jail. Investigators worked to determine the cause of a Woodson County house fire that destroyed a 3-story home. According to the Woodson County Emergency Management, dispatchers with the Woodson County Sheriff's Office received a report of a structure fire in the area of 50th Road and Fox Road on Sunday. When responders arrived, a 3-story wood frame home was fully engulfed in flames. No one was inside. The house is considered a total loss. And President Trump has signed an authorization to send what he calls a federal task force into Memphis, Tennessee to combat crime. He says it will be similar to the multi-agency federal action in D.C., which included deploying the National Guard. CBS's Nicole Valdez is in Memphis and reports on residents' reactions to the federal help.
Everything good for y'all today?
Good.
For 20 years, Mike Miller's owned Patrick's Restaurant in East Memphis. He's optimistic a federal task force could help make the city safer.
So you welcome the National Guard here?
Yes.
And for those who say they don't, what do you say?
This is an opportunity for us and for our city. I hope we make the most of it.
Mayor Paul Young is against it.
I want to be clear. I did not ask for the National Guard, and I don't think it's the way to drive down crime.
The Trump administration has already deployed Guard troops to Los Angeles and Washington, D.C. on a so-called mission to clean up crime. A CBS News data team review of FBI statistics showed that Memphis had the highest rate of violent crime of all major U.S. cities last year. But Memphis police data shows there was a decrease in violent crime in the first 9 months of this year. Ravonda Ligon's 23-year-old son, John Ryan Ingram, was shot and killed trying to break up a fight nearly 3 months ago.
If they're going to be a buffer between them and the police to help minimize the crime, then that's a great thing.
No one is really talking about the real root issues of crime.
Amber Sherman grew up here. The lifelong activist worries federal troops could do more harm than good.
I think it's also the wrong response, of course, to what's happening in Memphis, but also ignores all the work that we've been doing over the last 2-3 years to really make sure that community members have what they need so they aren't committing crimes.
While President Trump didn't say just how soon we could see those troops, he did say the effort will involve more than just the National Guard. Other agencies like the FBI, ATF, even the U.S. Marshals are too being tapped for this new task force. Nicole Valdez, CBS News, Memphis.
That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Israel escalates its Gaza offensive with mass evacuations. Plus, new research shows Americans would be healthier without daylight saving time. And we're tracking scattered thunderstorms in the 4 states. Chris has a look at your Tuesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 5:07. We'll be right back. Well, topping World Watch in the Middle East, where America's top diplomat met with Israel's prime minister in Jerusalem today. Their talks come just days after Israel launched an attack against Hamas leaders in Qatar, a key U.S. ally. CBS's Tina Kraus reports from London.
Israel is escalating its offensive against Hamas in Gaza City, ordering mass evacuations as the battle intensifies. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu say peace in Gaza will only come when Hamas is destroyed and all hostages are released.
The people of Gaza deserve a better future, one that cannot begin until Hamas is eliminated and until all of the hostages, both living and deceased, are home.
But the united front comes as there's tense diplomacy behind the scenes. After Israel's surprise missile strike on Qatar last week, targeting Hamas leaders. The White House only found out as it was about to happen.
Obviously, we were not happy about it. The president was not happy about it. Now we need to move forward and figure out what comes next.
Arab and Muslim leaders are condemning Israel's bombing, holding an emergency summit in Doha. Qatar's prime minister said it's time for the world to stop double standards and punish Israel. President Trump's response, telling Qataris to work on their public image.
I said, you need better public relations because you don't really get the public relations. I mean, people talk of it so badly, and they shouldn't be.
Secretary of State Rubio travels to Qatar for meetings with Arab leaders on Tuesday. Then he'll fly here to London to join President Trump on a state visit, which includes dinner with the British royal family. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Still to come, real stories inspire entertainment. A Netflix series about Marine boot camp. Plus, tracking scattered storms. Chris has another look at your weekly forecast. Well, a new trailer is released for the upcoming biopic about the boss, and Ed Sheeran gets playful following the release of his new album. Jared Hill has your eye on entertainment.
I want to break free.
Two friends join a diverse group of recruits in the new Netflix dramedy Boots.
I've moved 12 times in the last 10 years, so.
You a military brat too?
Oh no. My mom just likes to flee the consequences of her actions.
Set in the tough, unpredictable world of the U.S. Marine Corps, the series follows a young, closeted gay man and his best friend as they navigate the literal and metaphorical landmines of boot camp during the Don't Ask, Don't Tell era. It's inspired by a true story and is the final project from the legendary producer Norman Lear. Boots hits Netflix October 9th. Four-time Grammy winner Ed Sheeran is getting back to pop with the recent release of his 8th studio album, Play.
I think after the last album I put out, Subtract, which was all about sort of grief and depression and stuff, I wanted to create something that was like super upbeat and positive.
Over the weekend, the British superstar surprised fans in New York with a pop-up concert where he performed some of his new songs.
You think I was born to ruin your life.
Sheeran live-streamed the hour-long event on TikTok, where it was watched by more than 1 million people. The singer-songwriter says he plans to tour U.S. stadiums with the new album.
Songwriting's a funny thing.
And Jeremy Allen White transforms into American rock icon Bruce Springsteen in the highly anticipated biopic Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. The film focuses on the making of Springsteen's 1982 cult album Nebraska, which the boss recorded on a 4-track recorder from his bedroom in New Jersey.
He's channeling something deeply personal.
Deliver Me From Nowhere hits theaters October 24th. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
All right, let's take it over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got the opportunity for some additional pop-up showers and thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures remaining unseasonably hot as well. Details when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News 519 on this Tuesday morning. We're starting with the future track where, again, as we head into the afternoon, another round of pop-up showers and thunderstorms will certainly be possible. Again, made some minor adjustments to the future track to kind of better demonstrate the potential locations of pop-up storms. They could start as early as noon. The chances are pretty low to be very isolated if we see anything at noon. But as we head into the afternoon and evening, we'll start to see some additional pop-up storm chances across the region. I think by about 8, though, they should be pretty well done. We'll have partly cloudy skies again overnight tonight into our Wednesday. Wednesday into Thursday is a very interesting situation. We've talked about how many different computer models there are for weather forecasting. There's short, medium, and long, and all those things put together. There is still quite a bit of disagreement as to exactly what we're going to see as this cold front approaches in terms of shower and storm chances late Wednesday into our Thursday. So Wednesday afternoon, we start with isolated to widely scattered pop-up storms. That's the expectation so far. By 3, they could be really anywhere in the area, and they're a little more widespread than what we saw yesterday and what we're expecting today in terms of pop-up storm chances. However, we're looking at, as we go later into the evening, the potential for more organized shower and thunderstorm development. Now, it's still pretty widely scattered, but you see there's a lot more showers and thunderstorms as we head through the late evening hours. Then they start to clear out briefly before we go overnight, and perhaps another complex of thunderstorms rolls in from Oklahoma early Thursday morning. Right now, again, we don't have any severe risk areas highlighted with any of this activity, but you can see, especially into Kansas and Oklahoma, in the first half of our Thursday, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms will be possible out there. And then as we go late Thursday into Friday early morning, we could see a few additional scattered showers and thunderstorms, this time on the Missouri side. But again, some of the data suggests that we're going to get the rain, but not as much as what you're seeing here, be more isolated. But the one thing it all agrees on is it's going to get cooler as this front passes through. All right, so clear skies to start, about 70. We'll go mid-80s again by 11 o'clock this morning with a few more clouds slowly building in ahead of our pop-up storm chances. Highs today right around 90, and winds will be calm or light and variable. We head into the evening, and again through 8. Some of those pop-up storms could still hang on. You can see why, too. Look at 8. We're still almost 80 degrees by 8 o'clock tonight, so still warm enough to hold on to those. Mid-70s by 10, and our overnight lows once again back into the upper 60s with calm winds or light and variable winds, and that's the trend again tomorrow for our winds. The low 90s continue through tomorrow. As I said, that cold front comes in. pushes our temperatures back down to more seasonable levels, low to mid 80s. There's also, just want to throw this out there too, some conflicting data for the weekend. Most of it seems to agree we hold on to the low to mid 80s. We stay, somewhat more seasonable. Some data is suggesting the possibility that briefly we rebound to about 90 for Saturday and Sunday before we drop again next week. So, even if we do, it's a very brief warm-up, but I think right now we're looking better chances of the mid-80s. And those temperatures, while they're still a bit above average next week, they are not going to be reaching 90. We'll stay in the mid to upper 80s. That's a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, a new study reveals some of the hidden causes of heart attacks in adults under 65, especially women. Mayo Clinic research found that more than half of heart attacks in adult women under 65 aren't caused by clogged arteries, but from non-traditional causes like embolism or other heart conditions. Now, the findings are significant because many of these non-traditional causes are often misdiagnosed. Well, social isolation has increased around the world since the COVID pandemic. A study published in JAMA showed that while the problem is growing in every part of the world, social isolation is reaching especially high levels in low-income nations. The study's authors say governments and health officials need to take action about this growing crisis before it gets worse. And Americans could be healthier if we got rid of daylight saving time. A Stanford study found the collective loss of an hour of sleep in March is linked to more heart attacks and fatal traffic accidents in the days after we make the switch. But there are long-term effects as well. The sudden change in the amount of light exposure we get weakens the circadian clock, which also means the immune system and energy levels are impacted as well. Well, a Minnesota family is turning their heartbreak into hope. Doctors have told them their 4-year-old won't make it to her teens, but despite the diagnosis, the family says they're not giving up. Barrett Leone shows us how they're fighting not only for their daughter's life, but also the lives of other kids just like her.
Go get it, honey.
These are moments the Bourne family wishes they could bottle up together as a family of 4.
It's been a really, really difficult year.
In March, doctors introduced Dan and Stephanie to a diagnosis they never heard of.
We knew it was bad. You could just see it in the doctor's eyes.
CLN2 Batten disease, a rare, progressive, and terminal neurodegenerative disorder that has no cure.
Never thought that our world would come crashing down with a diagnosis.
At least, not yet.
We can't accept this. We can't live with this. There has to be another option, and we're going to go find it.
The Bournes decided they wouldn't wait for hope. They'd create it.
The first nights after the diagnosis, there was just this beautiful pink sky. Helen's always loved pink. She would point at it. I remember Steph, one of the first nights, said that's a sign from God. That he's going to take care of Helen.
With Helen's Pink Sky Foundation, they've raised $1 million for Batten research, a momentum they plan to keep climbing.
I think we're challenging things in certain ways that people haven't seen before, that we're going to get a different outcome, and I will think nothing less than us finding a cure.
We're fighting every day for Helen, and we're going to continue to fight for Helen. We can't accept anything else.
A family rewriting what's possible and a hope worth fighting for. Barrett Leone, CBS News.
Every 2 weeks, Helen gets an enzyme treatment at the Mayo Clinic to help slow the progression of the disease. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, court proceedings may put the brakes on filling the vacant mayor's seat in Carl Junction.
And we've got another opportunity for pop-up storms as we roll into the afternoon. We'll have a look at that coming up.
Plus, see how the Carl Junction community is taking new measures to reduce school bus violations.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Tuesday, September the 16th. We've got the coffee brewing. I actually just got some. It's very hot. We'll see if it's any good or not. Hopefully, again, your coffee is really good this morning because I don't know. Both of us just really tired this
Yeah,
morning. I don't know what's up with
maybe
that.
the heat.
Could be. It does definitely wear you out. I don't like it to be freezing cold, but the heat can really wear you. That's why, like in school, they keep the temperatures, even in the wintertime, cool because the heat makes you tired and kids will fall asleep in class. And so, yeah. That's how that is. And it's not going to be too cool outside today as we go back into the 90s. Let's start with that live look from downtown Pittsburgh. There it is, looking pretty good. We have clear skies out there for most of us. Got a few clouds in the parts of southeast Kansas, but not much really out there. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line in Joplin looks good as well. And here's the future track. As we hit noon, isolated, and I'm talking very isolated pop-up storm chances. But the reason we're talking about them is simply because yesterday they started a little later in the day. These ones could start just a hair earlier, around noon or so. The window is going to be from noon to 8 for pop-up storms, but the best window for any actual measurable, lookable pop-up storm chances is going to be about 3 to 6. But again, we could see some all the way through about 8 this evening before they begin to fizzle on out and leave us partly cloudy and mild once again overnight tonight. We're at 67 in Joplin right now, 65 in Pittsburgh, and as I've reminded you, the average low is 60. And take a look at some of these temperatures. A minute ago, okay, not a minute ago, but at the start of the show at 5, Stockton was the warm spot at 71. They're down to 70 now, but Yates Center has come up a degree to 71. And we still have those 70s in between Iola, Chanute, and Stockton. Rest of us, for the most part, mid to upper 60s. Looks like right now Fort Scott is the cool spot at 64 as we get this Tuesday underway. Kids heading out the door, partly cloudy skies. We'll go into the upper 60s. We'll go upper 80s by lunch and recess, and we'll start to see isolated pop-up storms. Those will continue as they start heading home this afternoon as well. Our highs today about 90. We'll go mid-70s by 9, and upper 80s by noon today. Pop-up storm chances. Winds will be calm or light and variable across the area once again. We have more storm chances as we head into tomorrow. We have that cold front approaching, and we're going to talk about its impact, the rain it could bring, and what our temperatures look like following that front here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Chris, thanks. Well, driving violations are piling up in Carl Junction just weeks into the school year. The Carl Junction School District has seen an unusual uptick in the amount of drivers committing stop arm violations when passing school buses. Now, despite school starting just a few weeks ago, there have been at least 25 violations reported to law enforcement, with even more that could have gone unreported.
I think people just don't want to wait a minute to wait on the school bus. We've had ones that you can see as they go by, they're on their cell phones. Other people will, yell at us as they run through the stop sign. They just feel that they're entitled to go and they don't want to wait.
Now, as of now, there have been no reports of injuries resulting from these violations, though the district still wants to make sure that none occur in the future. Well, the recent impeachment of Carl Junction's mayor creates ongoing legal turmoil for the city. A statement from the city's attorney indicates the city cannot yet move forward with appointing a new mayor due to former Mayor Mike Moss filing a petition for judicial review. The city's attorney also calls the special meeting scheduled to fill the vacancy premature while the impeachment process is ongoing. However, the impeachment board will meet during a council meeting. Now, this comes weeks after the former mayor challenged his removal. His attorney says the council acted wrongfully by removing the mayor without evidence of wrongdoing. This latest move halts the council's efforts to fill the mayor's seat. Without a legally recognized vacancy, the city will remain mayorless until the courts rule on Moss's challenge. Well, Jasper County has seen an increase in the number of foster kids in the area, coinciding with an increase of child abuse cases in the county. Now, while foster care parents are always in demand, officials in Jasper County find the need is even greater in the fall. According to CASA and the Jasper County Court, they receive more calls for help as students return to the classroom. CASA says Jasper County currently ranks 98th out of 113 counties for child welfare. Officials say the cause of this issue could range from abuse and neglect to educational neglect and more.
The state of Missouri has done a lot of prevention work in the last year, and so we're seeing that sometimes prevention doesn't always track or pan out for some of these cases, and that's what unfortunately brings kids into foster care.
Also an uptick because of school attendance and kids not being present. That can also maybe get Children's Division involved where they wouldn't be in the summertime.
Now, CASA says they are always in need of volunteers. They recommend reaching out to them if you would like to help. And Missouri American Water recognized an area trade school with a check presentation yesterday. The utility company presented $15,000 to the Franklin Technology Center in Joplin, as well as Joplin school representatives. Missouri American presented the check on behalf of the American Water Charitable Foundation. FTC says the grant will be used for programs including auto technology, collision repair, HVAC, machine tools, CNA, and computer information system programs. Missouri American says the grant serves as a way to help build a future workforce in the area.
What we're experiencing within our own industry is over the next 5 to 7 years, we're looking at losing between 25 and 40% of our own workforce. And a lot of those career fields focus on science and technology and a lot of similar things that Franklin Tech offers. So from that vantage point, we're just looking to build the labor pool up in those areas.
This year, the American Water Charitable Foundation awarded more than $750,000 through workforce readiness and STEM education grant programs. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAO Morning News. The YouTube sensation Hot Ones comes to Popeyes, and
with the deadline quickly approaching, the future of TikTok is uncertain. We'll speak with 3 local businesses and we'll ask them what they plan to do if a deal is not reached in time. I'm Ty Parks and we'll have that story coming up.
In Consumer Watch, the U.S. Senate has confirmed economist and Trump advisor Stephen Myron to the Federal Reserve's Board of Governors, giving President Trump more influence at the central bank. The same day, a federal judge rejected the Trump administration's bid to remove Fed governor member Lisa Cook. The president has tried to oust Cook over allegations of mortgage fraud, which she denies. This all comes as the Fed kicks off its 2-day meeting today to decide its next move on interest rates. And the Department of Transportation has ordered Delta Airlines and Aeromexico to wind down their 9-year cooperation agreement by January 1st. The department says the move is necessary because of ongoing anti-competitive effects. Delta expressed disappointment in the decision, warning that it could harm American jobs. Delta also says it's considering next steps and that flights will continue to operate as normal for now. Delta is expected to keep its 20% stake in Aeromexico. And Popeyes has teamed up with the popular YouTube series Hot Ones. The collab brings some of the show's iconic hot sauces to add enough spice to suit each level of taste, from the mild sizzling sriracha dippers to the hot dare and dab ghost wings for those looking to kick it up a notch. There's the last dab, the hottest sauce in the Hot Ones universe. Well, many people use the popular app TikTok for everything from social fun to marketing a business, but that could soon change. KOAM's Ty Park spoke with 3 businesses that use TikTok and found out how their plans will change should the app go dark.
TikTok is uncertain. The current deadline is September 17th. Joplin Chamber of Commerce tells KOAM that they use the app to attract younger audiences.
Using TikTok has been really helpful for us to educate and make people aware of the amazing things that Joplin has to offer as far as quality of life, and it allows us to reach a different audience.
Choose Joplin page allows the chamber to reach an audience that would otherwise be untouched.
If the app does go dark, I would say probably naturally people will start shifting to other platforms. We do have a strong presence on Facebook and Instagram. I would say right now we don't do a lot on YouTube Shorts, so that may be something we would look into.
IC story is titled, "Am I the Astronaut for Admitting to Something?"
Another business that has seen growth due to TikTok is Dusty Thunder with Storm Cloud Marketing, who has seen recent TikTok fame.
Like, we're at the mercy of all these different content platforms. We're at the mercy of legislation. We're at the mercy of a lot of different things. So we have to adapt quickly no matter what. I think one of the most important things that we have to do as content creators is diversify.
One small business that has seen an increase in sales due to TikTok is Front Page on Main Street in Joplin.
A lot of our advertising, so we do daily things on Facebook actually, and everything goes to TikTok at that point so that we can hopefully increase our outreach and reach people that are not aware of this local gym. The thing about a small business like us, we just have to roll with the punches. So I'm just telling you, if something happens there, we will pick up something else and make that work for us. So hopefully everything just keeps going like it is right now, but I know that we can make it work one way or the other.
Each business we spoke to today is hopeful the app will stay, but is ready to switch gears if it goes dark. In Joplin, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
A framework deal with China is reportedly in the works. The current deadline for a decision on the app is tomorrow, September 17th. And that's a look at Consumer Watch. Let's head over to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got another opportunity for some pop-up storms, isolated in nature, but nonetheless there as we roll into the afternoon. Temperatures also staying quite toasty across the area. A full look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 5:42. We'll be right back.
Well, some hopeful signs when it comes to food insecurity around the world. Details in today's Ag Day Minutes.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. A new report says food security around the world is expected to improve overall this year. USDA's Economic Research Service says incomes in the country it surveyed are expected to grow by 3.7%, while food inflation in many of those countries is expected to ease. And because of that, the number of food insecure people is estimated to drop by more than 26%. Now you can see that in the areas of this map shaded in blue. Meanwhile, the areas in red are where food insecurity is still the greatest, such as sub-Saharan Africa and the Caribbean. Pear lovers, get ready for what could be a great crop. Harvest of the fruit is underway right now, and Pear Bureau Northwest says a mild winter and favorable growing conditions has set growers up for a great harvest. Its estimated yields could exceed last year by about 60% across the 10 varieties grown in that area. And watermelon rinds, greasy pizza boxes, and yard trimmings. In most cities, those items would head straight to a landfill. But in New York City, they're the raw ingredients for something surprisingly valuable called black gold. Crews shred, screen, and then store the waste, turning it into compost. It's then sold to landscapers or distributed for free to residents, schools, and community gardens to improve soil health. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or get updates over at agweb.com.
Here's Chris now with the full look at today's forecast.
And we've got opportunities for pop-up storms once again as we head into this afternoon. Yesterday started a little later and ran a little later. Today, the approximate window is from noon to 8 with a slightly better window from about 3 to 6, 3 to 7. So here we are at noon on the future track. Anything we see at noon is obviously, as you can see, are very isolated. There may only be a couple of them out there. But as we go toward closer to 2, 3 o'clock, we'll see a few more opportunities for these isolated pop-up storms across the region, really the eastern half of our area, but you can't rule one out outside of that. It's just the better chances will be here. These wrap up about 8 o'clock or so. Will be partly cloudy overnight tonight. As we go into Wednesday, we initially start with pop-up storms heading into the afternoon. However, these start to become more numerous, and we're now starting to look at the possibility, at least, of scattered storms. There's still some conflicting data on exactly how this is going to play out. Some of the data reflects what you're going to see here on the future track, where we go from just isolated pop-up storms to scattered storms, especially into southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma later in the evening. Some of the data suggests, though, that, yeah, we'll get the pop-up storms, but that's going to be it. There'll be a very isolated chance of showers and storms. We do have a cold front that's approaching. That's going to bring our temperatures back to normal. And again, This data that you're seeing here suggests that thunderstorms could be rolling in out of Oklahoma early Thursday morning into parts of southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma. We're not expecting at this time any severe weather, but of course we'll keep an eye on things. As we get closer to, say, 8, 9 o'clock, any thunderstorm activity, even if it is a little stronger, begins to wind down a bit. Still mainly into Kansas and Oklahoma. As we head into the afternoon Thursday, we start to see, again, a few scattered showers, a few rumbles of thunder, Kansas, Oklahoma. And then later in the evening, late evenings, we're talking 8, 9 o'clock, could get some new storm development along that front as it continues to push through. That could push into parts of southwest Missouri late Thursday evening into the very early overnight hours on Friday before that begins to clear on out of here. So again, there's that data that says we won't get as much rain as you just saw, and then some of it reflects what you just saw, where we get more scattered storms across the area with this frontal passage. But either way, it's going to bring our temperatures down to a much more manageable level for us. But even there's some conflicting data, which I'll go over in a moment. All right, so we're looking to start about 70. Should have clear skies out there. Clouds will increase just a bit through the morning. Mid-80s by 11. We'll head for partly cloudy skies into the afternoon. Highs about 90. Winds will be calm or light and variable. Into the evening we go again through 8, maybe an isolated shower storm. And this is why, though. You can see by 8, even though we're, 36 minutes after sunset, still near 80 degrees. So that's why they could support a few of them that late. And we'll go upper 60s, partly cloudy skies overnight tonight. Once the front pushes through, so we got low 90s tomorrow, we go mid 80s, even low to mid 80s for Friday. But then we go into the weekend, and there's, again, some data that suggests we might see a brief rebound near 90 this weekend. But right now, I think it's the more consistent signal is that we're going to stay right around the low to mid 80s this weekend, but we could see it a little hotter. We'll see. And as we roll into next week, again, fairly consistent there, still above average, but not significantly so as we go mid to upper 80s. That's checking your forecast. We're going to toss it over to Elise now with sports.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, Fort Scott High School football is off to a rough 0-2 start, but the Tigers remain optimistic they can turn their season around. Many of the hiccups we've seen thus far from Fort Scott can be explained by inexperience. This year's Tigers team is full of talented but young players. They'll rely on leadership from the senior class, leaning on players like All-State running back and linebacker Ryder Newton.
This year, I think we have a strong senior class. They've done a good job of buying in and working hard. They've done a good job of leading the team on and off the field. We've got some young talent as well, so we're inexperienced right now, but that doesn't mean we don't have talent. I think we're going to be just fine if we learn how to play hard, play the right way, and play together as a team. I'd say it probably starts with our captain. So Ryder Newton's a starting running back and starting linebacker. Last year he was an all-league and all-state linebacker. He's a great player for us. I'd say he's our leader on and off the field.
Head coach Jonathan Starks believes his team needs to work on the fundamentals with the turnover battle and play mistake-free football, and the rest will take care of itself. The Tigers took a big step in the right direction in week 2, narrowly losing to Parsons 25-22, but there's more work to be done in Fort Scott.
Yeah, I want us to play winning football. So, to me, winning football, we got to take care of turnovers. We can't lose the turnover battle. So we need to take care of the ball offensively, and we need to force turnovers defensively. We got to do our job the best that we can, and if the other team's better than us, so be it. It's okay if we lose that way. It's not okay if we lose because we have tons of mental errors or we're not executing and doing things that we can control. So that's my expectation and goal for the year, is just that's the way we practice. And if we practice that way, that's going to be the way that we play. And I think if we do that, we can be competitive. And if we can be competitive, we can find a way to win.
The Tigers continue their season with another home matchup this Friday against the 1-1 Independence Bulldogs. That's a look at sports. We'll be right back. A celestial spectacle was visible over parts of the U.S. on Sunday as the green of the Aurora Borealis danced above city lights. Time-lapse footage captured by a user on X from a passenger jet traveling from New York to California shows the phenomenon. The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration predicted moderate geomagnetic activity on Sunday evening. And the Missouri Department of Conservation is celebrating one of our most important migrating insects this weekend. The Monarch Festival and Native Plant Sale is happening this coming Saturday at the Shoal Creek Conservation Education Center. The all-ages event includes education about the monarch butterfly. The plant sale will focus on natives that help support migrating insects and birds as they journey south this fall.
And some of them might be a little confused with the temperatures the way they've been lately, but we are about to be into fall, and we will get back to fall-like temperatures. But keep in mind, this right here, that's our average high, and we're going to reach it by 11 o'clock. Should have clear skies out there, maybe a few clouds for some of us in southeastern Kansas. And as we roll into the afternoon, we'll have those isolated pop-up storm chances once again, with our highs cruising to about 90 degrees. And as we head into the evening, those pop-up storms, the window is from noon to 8. The better window to see a few more is going to be roughly 3 to 6, 3 to 7. Then we'll clear out and be partly cloudy overnight, back into the upper 60s. Now, tomorrow we go low 90s. By the afternoon, we start to see pop-up storms again. But we're looking at some data that suggests we might get more scattered storms. So a little more widespread rain. Still not for everybody, unfortunately, but more showers, thunderstorms possible late evening into Thursday morning, especially to southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma. Between the clouds and the rain for parts of Thursday, we'll fall back into the mid-80s, low to mid-80s heading into the weekend. A few more pop-up storms out there. We do heat back up a little, but still below 90 at least. Mid-upper 80s next week. More rain chances next Monday and Tuesday. That's checking your forecast. We're back with another hour of the KOAM Morning News right after this.